Regardless of how well we plan and prepare, unforeseen situations will inevitably come. The bumps in the road are inescapable, but if you don't want to go over them, you'll never get to your destination. The difference between tragedy and victory is whether you're ready and willing to endure the storm. Those bumps will become stepping stones if you're prepared. The important thing to remember is that working harder equals working smarter. What methods do you use to work smarter? All you need are the necessary talents. People want better surroundings and a better life, but not necessarily a better self. They want to win without having to pay a price or do any effort. Men and women from the Bishnoi tribe perished about 300 years ago, in 1730, in an attempt to stop the destruction of trees. The trees were to be burned to make lime for a new palace's building. Amrita Devi, a local woman, objected the tree felling because the Bishnoi faith forbade such actions. In order to save the trees, she and her 3 daughters gave their lives. Many other villagers followed suit and hugged the trees that were about to be cut down, resulting in their deaths. This incident was the forerunner of the Chipko movement, which began in the 20th century. The chopping of green trees is forbidden in the Bishnoi faith. It requests that the Kejari, the area's shade and fodder tree, be completely protected. Due to the presence of a double recessive allele in the genetic coding, a pure white tiger is completely white without any stripes. It can only be found in the Bengal tiger subspecies, and it occurs in 1 out of every 10,000 births. White tigers are extremely rare in the wild, with only 12 having been observed in India in the last century. Tigers live for about 10 to 15 years. They are lonely creatures who prefer to hunt at night. They eat any animals they can catch and can consume up to 40 pounds of meat at a time. They frequently avoid food for several days after such a large dinner. They are sluggish runners but excellent swimmers. They are sluggish runners but excellent swimmers.
All of them promise to open up attractive professional opportunities, particularly for the area's landed class. These schools have trendy names and were founded in the years following the election of the 42nd President of the United States. They give an image of society trying to change as they sit among sugar cane fields and mango gardens. Despite the presence of such a good social component in the neighborhood, there is no indication of overall changes. The roadways are rutted and strewn with debris. The dream of an all-weather highway is still a pipe dream. It is inconceivable to have a constant power supply, and old industries are dying. There are also governance issues, such as the law and order situation. Adnan Haj, the photographer, allegedly thickened the smoke billowing from an apartment block following an Israeli air attack to emphasize the impact of the bombardment, and 2 flares were suspected of being added to a shot of an Israeli jet in action over Lebanon. After an internal inquiry, Reuters validated the claim of doctoring, which was first raised by various bloggers. Mr. Haj, who had been selling photos to Reuters for over a decade, denied tampering with the 2 images, blaming the dense smoke in the first on poor lighting, and the fact that he was trying to remove dust markings. There was no trouble with it, none at all, he claimed of the second. However, Reuters was not convinced, and said that it was eliminating all of the images from its database and would no longer use his service. Great guys have all achieved success. They are remembered for their outstanding accomplishments. Success, on the other hand, is bound to come to those who are truthful, diligent, devoted, and dedicated to their aims. Man's biggest drive has always been success. It is critical for everyone. Success has a significant impact on one's life. It makes you happy and proud. It offers you a sense of accomplishment. It entails a holistic approach to development. Everyone aspires to be successful in their lives. Success, on the other hand, smiles on those with the right approach, planning, vision, and stamina. All of these things, when used correctly and at the right moment, will inevitably bring fruit. Female sparrows typically lay 4 to 6 eggs each clutch. The eggs are reddish-brown in color with white dots. It takes 11 to 14 days for them to hatch. Both male and female parents look after their children. After hatching, the young are fed insects. The sparrow scratches seeds with its big claws. Adult sparrows consume primarily seeds. Sparrows can be found practically anywhere that humans exist. Many people enjoy viewing these beautiful birds all throughout the world. The sparrows are one of the rare birds that bathe in the dust. Sparrows scratch a hole in the ground with their foot, then lie in it, flinging dirt or sand over their body with wing flicks. The exquisite sculpture that covers practically every inch of the walls, pillars, and even ceilings of this little temple captivates with its beauty and energy. It contains 3 shikaras and is built on an elevated platform in the shape of a star with 24 edges. The outer walls are covered in intricate sculptures, with carved stone plaques covering the full surface. There were vertical panels adorned in magnificent representations of gods and goddesses, many of whom were shown in various incarnations. There were also nymphs, some of whom carried a maize ear, a symbol of plenty and prosperity. Plant worship is a long-standing tradition in India. It is the most ancient form of worship. When people began to focus on food production, the mother goddess, sometimes known as the Earth Mother, became the most important divinity. To her believers, fertility, creation, and the world of plants and animals became her blessings. The worship of the tree was an appreciation of her creative talents, symbolizing the vitality of fertility for the early people's existence. Trees were thought to house spirits, both good and harmful. The spirits of the area were happy if the trees were revered. As agriculture replaced sacred woodlands, only one tree remained, and it was recognized as a sacred tree. The Ganga is the most sacred river in India for millions of people. It is revered as both a mother and a deity. It also serves as a lifeline for millions of Indians who live along its banks and rely on it for their daily necessities. The Ganga is the world's third largest river by volume of water flowing through it. It is the country's longest river. Irrigation, transportation, and fishing are all done with Ganga river water. The Gangetic Plain, which is formed by the Ganga River, is one of the most fertile areas on the planet. This is why about 10% of the world's population lives and works here. In India, the Ganga is the most revered body of water. The irony is that, despite being the most revered river in the world, it is also the dirtiest.
Hello. My name is David. It's nice to meet you.
Hi, I'm Jenny. It's my pleasure to meet you.
I am sorry. What was your name again?
Jenny.
So Jenny, what do you do for a living?
I work at the local school teaching English. What do you for a living?
I am also an English teacher, but am currently out of work.
Sorry to hear that. It has been really nice talking to you.
Yes, it was a great pleasure meeting you.
Even the smartest woman cannot cook without rice, according to a Chinese saying, and this is also true for a large number of Indians. The most important basic type of food in the world is boiled rice. The grain is available in a wide range of variations all around the world. Contrary to popular belief, rice is not fattening. Scientists and nutritionists agree that rice is healthy and does not cause weight gain. It mostly consists of carbs that, when ingested in moderation, do not contribute to weight gain. Rice has only about 0.4 gram of fat per 100 gram serving. In fact, this portion has only 100 calories. And, as famous culinary expert Tarla Dalal points out, rice has about the same number of calories as whole wheat and is hence not more fattening. The press serves as a teacher. It is responsible for shaping and forming public opinion. It makes public requests and airs public complaints. It protects the rights and interests of people. It raises its resounding voice in opposition to any attempt to infringe on people's rights and liberties. It serves as a check on the whims of individuals in positions of power. It exposes officials who are unethical, ineffective, and corrupt. All good and honorable causes are championed by it. It gives the administration a healthy tone by criticizing the actions and omissions of government personnel. Naturally, a country's government cannot ignore the media. It can't be dismissive of its point of view.